This is an interview with Corporal Paul Lafley, U.S. Army veteran of World War II. This is an excerpt from the larger interview where Paul discusses a time that he was wounded and ended up capturing 2 German soldiers.
They noticed in everything that I had an expert in training for anything that I touch with a gun. And so I was all of a sudden, immediately, without my knowing much about it, they decided that I'm going to be a machine gun operator. There was one village that we got close to, and that turned out to be 2 elderly Army officers, or at least Army personnel, that were being used to stop us or our advance. And they all of a sudden started shooting, and we hit the turf. And the interesting thing, the villagers had been told that they should destroy their stacks of hay because we had horses dragging our artillery. So the people didn't know, and they did that, although this field had several haystacks. And when we were being shot at, we hit the turf, and I hit the turf, and the bipod on my machine gun did not go down. It made the front of the machine gun stick up. And there I was, a very good target. My crew was able to get out because they didn't have the gun. And they went a little farther back where we had just passed a stack of hay. And although hay wouldn't stop bullets, they couldn't see us. And so those folks were pretty well okay, but I was exposed, and I did get a shot in my pack as I was laying there, and it just grazed the top of my head, my helmet, and I decided at that point I'd better get up, and it was easy thinking because all of a sudden there was a little light plane, one of those planes that were made in Pennsylvania, which were used by the artillery to spot things. And they were overhead for a little while, and the 2 guys that were shooting at us stopped shooting because they didn't want to be identified, possibly. And anyway, I got up and got back to that stack of hay too, and then we found a way to get out of that area a bit, and we met the two guys that were shooting at us, and I had to drag the machine gun so it wouldn't work. But I had some in the belt in the machine gun, and when we got close to the old fellows, they gave up in a hurry when they saw me pointing the machine gun at him with belt of ammunition, not realizing that I didn't have a working gun. But my chief and my assistant and the two bears, they all had guns, and so as a result, we got over that without losing anybody or getting anybody hurt. But that was a narrow escape.